That's what I call a lighter. Hey everybody, I'm going to show you how to make your normal ordinary lighter go to be a very, very powerful lighter. So some things to state before I begin with the tutorial. Obviously this is dangerous. Duh, really. Don't try and do anything that I don't tell you to here. Actually, don't even try and do this at all, because, yeah, it's kind of dangerous. But not that dangerous. You can probably do it safely. Also, a couple other things. You need to use a lighter that has a little adjuster thingy on it, for lack of a better term. These big lighters that don't, or any lighter that doesn't, will not work. And also, lighters that aren't like these regular disposable lighters probably won't work, because they just won't work. But these store brand ones, these ones that are these Scripto ones, Scripto whatever, these are pretty common. This is like a Best Choice lighter, I think. It's like the same design. So, and yeah, one more thing is that the optimal amount of fluid to have in here is slightly less than half, because when you have these lighters, normal lighters don't have this problem because the flow is smaller, the flame isn't as big, there's not as much fuel going through. But these higher ones, if you have liquid down in here, like at the bottom of the straw, it'll get sucked into the straw when you use the lighter, and it'll kind of like spurt out. And what'll tend to happen is when you light the lighter, it'll kind of like not go out right away, like what's happening here. And you can just blow it out. And just to clarify, that's not like that the valve doesn't turn off. That's like excess liquid that's in there that hasn't yet turned to gas. That's just burning up. So that's why you can still have it like that, and it won't really do anything except that, which is kind of dangerous, whatever. But like I said, if it's slightly less than half, so you don't have any there, and you tip your lighter like that, so it gets rid of it, that's optimal. Anyway, let's get started. So I got this here green lighter, so you just kind of pry this metal thing off and take it off like that, super simple. And then you're going to see this little adjuster thing. And if you look closely, which you can't really see it in the video, but you will with your actual lighter, this thing is like a little wrench for a screw or a dial on there. Now, there's one of two things you can do. You can kind of move it up there, which sometimes takes a couple of tries, and just slide it back over. Move it up so it doesn't hit the thing, and then you move it back down and slide it back over like that. And do that maybe like, 5 times or whatever, how many it takes. Or yeah, I found that about one turn of like the actual, like this dial or the screw you're actually turning, about one turn of that, or about 5 times doing this little wrench move it thing, what I'm doing here, for lack of a better term for that, is about good. You don't want to do it too much, because then it'll basically break your lighter and bad stuff will happen, because you're actually unscrewing this. But like I said, if you just turn it about one turn, it'll work. And once you get to a certain amount, there's no advantage. Like, it won't go like extra high if you do it an extra turn. It'll just not change it. The other thing you can do is just snap this little wrench thing off with some pliers or something. You just take it and you kind of, just like bend it like that. It'll snap off pretty easy. Make sure you don't break this little thing, or the dial, or basically any part of the letters besides this. It might be a bit tricky, but if you kind of like just bend it up like that, it might kind of snap. I don't know. That's what I did with this one here, and it'll just end up looking like that. And then you can take a screwdriver or your finger and just manually adjust this dial and turn it to the right. I'm not doing it on this one because it's already adjusted and I don't want to change it. But That's what you can do. Just turn it to the right and it'll work. So once you're done with that, you just stick the cap back on. Now, one problem with some of these lighters, like you just saw here, is that the flint, what lights the lighter, it just kind of won't work right due to the high amount of fuel coming out of the lighter. So what you can do is get a smaller lighter and light it like that. Remember to tip it back, get the fuel on the other side. Or sometimes it'll just end up working. There you go. This kind of depends. And yeah, obviously this is dangerous. And also it uses your fuel up real quick. So there's kind of, like, for everyday use of a lighter, what you normally use a lighter for, there's like pretty much no advantage at all to doing this. Because like, who needs a flame that big to like light their cigar or whatever, you know? Like, lighters are designed for their use, which is, you know, lighting stuff. And you really don't need a flame this big, but like, nobody can argue that it does not look very cool. And it's also kind of surprising when somebody asks you, oh, do you have a light? And you're like, yeah. I've found these can go up to about a foot high. This one is not quite a foot. I think that's almost a foot. Probably like 9 inches. Yeah, definitely very cool. Thanks for watching, and don't do stupid stuff with this. Bye.